His name was Joe. He could fix just about anything. People hated it when he patched up their machines from the dump just to resell them without giving a damn. He had a pug named Jake. Jake went with him everywhere, following the trail of Joe's Winston cigarette smoke from room to room and all around the hangar and warehouse. One summer, Jake was gone, and I asked him what happened. He got sick. I took him out to the woods with my .45, he somberly replied. Joe never washed his filthy Carhartt overalls, and he rarely ever showered. Showering makes me sick. It destroys my antibodies, he would say. The thing was, he didn't stink. I don't know what it was. The man simply did not like to touch water. We used to land his Piper P-18 on sandbars, hydroplaning around them on the Kobuk with the jet prop, howling like a bastard. Once we touched down on a sandbar to steal airplane wheels from a cabin owned by a guy Joe hated, and we had a laugh as we dug them out of the muck. These must have been sitting here for 5 fucking years. He obviously doesn't give a shit about them, so fuck him, said Joe. He would make runs to the Squirrel River to fill up empty milk jugs to collect water for Joe's coffee. He swore that by that water. Best on earth, he would say. Oh, I remember him at the yoke of the Super Cub, lit Winston in his mouth. When he spotted a bear or moose, he would take the plane down low. I mean low enough to see the whites of their eyes. And he would just lose it, dying with laughter at how terrified he could make these masters of the animal kingdom. In fact, his signature was raising the prop up on the motor in the riverboat and aiming it at a mother duck and her ducklings while we were leaving, spraying them with a blast of water from the raised jet of the prop, laughing his ass off. I did Joe wrong, stealing money from him. Money he planted, knowing at the time I had no backbone. He never forgave me, and I was never able to patch it up with him. Joe died years ago from a heart attack, collapsing outside his trailer. Many summers were spent in Guyana with him, some of the best I ever had, fishing and swimming along the Kobuk. Joe was funny about dreams too. He always slept on the couch in the living room. He said the bedroom would make him dream of snakes. When he passed bush pilots in the area, flew a missing man formation over the village of Guyana. He was more than a man. He was a legend. His spirit will never die, living on now, even through me and all those lives he touched. Memories of his wild, anarchist antics, how to ruin engines with electric tape rather than sugar, how to inject gasoline into the light bulbs so they would explode when turned on. How he knew these things is beyond me. His IQ must have been easily 130. He was a raging misanthrope, forever referring to nearly everything as a complete fuck-up. He liked village life. The world at large was maddening, he said. He much preferred experiencing it in an isolated corner of the Northwest Arctic. The kids all called him Papa Joe. He took me and my brother up in the Cessna once and told us to hold a quarter in our hand, then drop the plane, the quarters floating up into the cabin in zero gravity. They don't make them like Joe anymore. I like to think he's in the spirit world with my dad somewhere, reading a Playboy, talking shit about the quartz veins he never investigated further, knowing they often led to gold. That's the thing, he was the gold, a gem to all who knew him.